Hey everybody, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for crypto news and interviews. Big day for the market. The Fed, Jerome Powell made some statements. Bitcoin saw a bounce. I want to break down what the Fed is doing, what impact that could have on Bitcoin and crypto. We're also going to talk about Jay Clayton went on CNBC today, and he was pressured to talk about the conflicts of interest related to the Ethereum free pass, the SEC Ripple lawsuit, and attorney John Deaton was also on a major podcast. So I want to share those details. And we have some big news about a company that's just raised a ton of capital, and they're going to offer Bitcoin-backed mortgages. This is significant adoption, my friends, and I want to break down the details there. We also have a alumni of Andreessen Horowitz, which is starting her own crypto fund. Seems like everybody's starting a crypto fund these days. We're also going to talk about a South Carolina governor, political candidate who has started his own Bitcoin mining business. So lots of bullish news to break down. Before we get to it, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, this video is brought to you by Algorand, which is one of the leading blockchain projects in the crypto industry. They are building the future of finance by combining decentralized and traditional financial models. Algorand is getting significant investment and adoption. For example, Borderless Capital launched a $500 million algo fund to help build out the ecosystem. Both Anthony Scaramucci and Michael Arrington have invested hundreds of millions of dollars to build the ecosystem out. NFTs are being built on Algorand. We have central banks looking to build their CBDCs on Algorand. And even the city of Miami is partnering with Algorand to track the air quality in the city. So Algorand is getting real world adoption. And in fact, they're working on scaling to 10,000 transactions per second. Now, full disclosure, I hold the Algo token in my portfolio, and it is why I selected them to be the official sponsor of the Thinking Crypto channel and podcast. So if you would like to learn more about Algorand, please visit algorand.com. Let's take a look at the market here. Bitcoin over $49,000, although it kind of dipped down a little bit, but it did see on the hourly, at least the hourly chart, a big jump. And this was from statements from the Fed, Jerome Powell. And the altcoins, a little bit of upward movement, but nothing significant, nothing to write home about. And let me show you what the Fed is saying. So the Fed speeds up stimulus withdrawal and Bitcoin jumps. The Fed will reduce its bond purchases by $30 billion every month to wind them down early next year, doubling from the current pace of withdrawal of $15 billion every month. Now, here's the thing. I will believe it when I see it. I don't trust them. You remember what they said? Oh, inflation is transitory. Oh, you don't have to worry about it. All of a sudden, inflation hits the highest it has been in 40 years, and all of a sudden they're backtracking. Yeah, it's not transitory. We messed up there. So I don't trust them. They're manipulating the money. We know about this. This is why crypto and other assets are a great hedge. Crypto being the best hedge, in my opinion. As Paul Tudor Jones said, it is the fastest horse in the race. So Bitcoin saw a jump. Let's see what the Fed continues to do. But nevertheless, here's an interesting chart, guys. TechDev shared the following. Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart. Hard to make this stuff up. Look at this September jump into October, I should say, the October rally that started at the end of September. And you see the green candle that started a rally to bring the price back up. Well, look at what we saw today. Big red candle on the 4-hour chart, big green candle on the 4-hour chart. So let's see if this starts a rally. I don't know. We just have to wait and see, guys. At this point, it is a waiting game. We have to be patient and to see what happens. I do think macro level, we are in a lengthening cycle. I do believe we still have more to go in this bull market. We haven't hit a blow off top yet. And look, I could be wrong, but I want to make sure I share the facts at least as to what we're seeing on the charts, what's happening from a macro perspective. Now, here's a great chart I wanted to share with you guys. Crypto Powell, or Pooh, however you say the username, tweeted the following chart: the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, using a color scheme where red is extreme greed and blue is extreme fear. So it's taking those scores we've been sharing over the bull market and bear market and aligning them to the price. And as you can see here, right now we are in a blue extreme fear scenario. So that could be considered a great accumulation phase, not financial or investment advice. I'm personally buying the dip where I can, because I do believe there's another peak here. And I hope I'm right, because once again, I don't want to come out and make a definitive statement because I don't know what the future holds. But I do think when we're looking at probabilities, there's a high probability of this thing continuing and a low probability of us just jumping into a bear market, because we haven't seen an alt season yet, right? We haven't seen that euphoric, massive pump to a blow off top. So just an interesting chart. I think it's very helpful. It can give you an idea of when one could potentially, see the top, on when to accumulate, and so on and so forth, because this follows human psychology. All right, let's talk about the SEC, Ripple, XRP, and Ethereum. Well, guys, Jay Clayton himself went on CNBC, and they finally had the confidence, or the balls, if you want to call it that, to ask this man questions about the conflicts of interest, which are being covered by the folks at Fox Business and the investigative journalism. I interviewed the founder of Empower Oversight, which is suing the SEC for documents and FOIA requests related to conflicts of interest. So let me play a clip here for you guys so you can hear. He completely dodges all the questions, of course, typical Clayton. And let's see if we can hear from him here.
That's something that it winds up in my Twitter feed constantly. I've tried to look into it and done a little research on it. There's this argument about an action that the SEC brought on your last day as the chair of the SEC. This was the one to go after Ripple Labs executives, the CEO, the general counsel, and others, and kind of come after them for some sales that they had planned and whether they were upfront. There has been all kinds of speculation because Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, the general counsel, have been very public, and they're pushing back and fighting the SEC on this. And they've done some mudslinging and said that you and others at the SEC were compromised in this decision, that you had input that was coming in from people who are maybe Ethereum fans or others along the way. I get this question constantly. I just want to put it to you. What happened, and what do you say to those accusations?
Well, Becky, I'm not going to comment on any pending investigation or action in front of the SEC. I think you know that. We've discussed that in the past. And look, it's America. People have the right to defend themselves. They have the right to their opinion. And I'm not going to engage in that either. I think as government officials, you do the best you can. You let the facts stand where they are, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Can we talk more broadly just about crypto?
So dodges the question, doesn't address anything, doesn't talk about ethics. Of course he can't, guys. He's caught red-handed. Him and Hinman, we know where they went right after he left. He dropped this lawsuit on his last day. Just shady activity on both their parts. Hinman was getting paid $15 million from Simpson Thatcher, which is invested in Ethereum. Clayton goes to One River. They've been betting on Bitcoin. He even helped them submit for a Bitcoin ETF. This man did not approve a Bitcoin ETF while in office. He drops his bullshit lawsuit against Ripple. Pathetic. And but I'm glad the mainstream media is putting pressure and calling him out. And I tweeted about it today with the following comments. I said, the pressure is mounting. Conflicts of interest are coming to light. Trust me when I tell you, Clayton, Hinman, and Gensler don't like the fact that people on Twitter, YouTube, mainstream media, etc., are talking about this. And speaking of people talking about this, attorney John Deaton, who's representing XRP holders, he went on Patrick Bet-David's podcast today, and it was a really great discussion, talked in depth about the conflicts of interest, XRP, Ripple, Ethereum, the crypto market. Guys, this thing is getting out. It's blowing up. And I'm telling you, those guys, Gensler and so forth, are squirming because, Gensler is trying to get the treasury job. He's trying to be hard-nosed. He's trying to keep the crypto market under the SEC so he can not provide clarity and clear guidelines, but rather go around and shake down companies and get settlement money. it's pretty clear that he's doing that, because even commissioners like Hester Peirce and Elad Roisman are saying the complete opposite of him, saying, hey, there's no clarity. Where are the guidelines? You know, put out the commandments, the 10 commandments of the SEC about crypto, right? So at least we have an idea what we're working with. He won't do that because once again, the settlement money, he wants to shake you down like the mafia. And we see he blocked Coinbase lending, went after Terra Luna, and there's going to be more unless Congress steps in and passes comprehensive regulation, and it puts the SEC in their respective place, puts guardrails around them. So we're seeing this thing play out, and I know a lot of people sometimes get upset. They're like, dude, why are you talking about the SEC lawsuit every day and blah, blah? Because it's significant for the crypto market. It's not just about Ripple. They will go after Cardano, Chainlink, and all the other cryptos, and I hold many of those. I don't want that to happen. I want the SEC to lose some power here. I want the SEC to go after scams, absolutely, but not stop innovation, not hurt retail investors who bought these crypto assets, right? So that's where we're seeing all these things happen. And of course, what makes it worse is the conflicts of interest that the Ethereum people paid off these guys, Clayton, Hinman, and they got a free pass. Come on. What are we doing here, right? Where is the free market level playing field? It's pretty clear that these guys were bribed, right? And there's a lot of people involved in this, and they're going to get exposed. And the mainstream media is picking it up now. But like I've said to you guys, keep making videos. It shouldn't just be me or other crypto YouTubers. Make your own video. Go on Twitter, tweet, emails, phone calls. Do what you need to do so your voices are heard. These people, regulators, are funded by our tax dollars, those of us in the United States, and they're not representing us. And that is sad. That is also pathetic. And we need to keep them accountable. So keep up the good fight, guys. We are putting more pressure on these guys, and people in Congress will not be able to ignore it forever, because they will see that when it comes to voting, the people who are invested in crypto and are seeing this are going to vote for those who are in favor of crypto and who are trying to fix this SEC situation. Look at this, guys. This is very, very bullish. So Ledn, if I'm saying that right, it's Ledn. They spelled it a bit different, but they tweeted, we've secured $70 million at a $540 million valuation in our Series B funding led by 10T. Now, 10T Holdings, who's that owned by? Dan Tapiero. If you guys recall, I interviewed Dan Tapiero about a month ago, I believe it was, 2 months ago, actually. And he was raising his had just finished raising his $750 million fund to invest in crypto. Just last week, we talked about his third fund, which is raising $500 million. And here you see the investments being made in crypto. Guys, the institutional players are here. The big boys are here. They're bringing in a lot of money, millions of dollars heading into billions, and they're investing in crypto companies. They're buying the assets as well. So they said, we will use this new capital to support the rapid growth of our lending business, including our newest product, the world's first Bitcoin mortgage. Wow, guys. And you look at their website, it says, introducing the world's first Bitcoin mortgage, own a home, keep your coins, get on the list. By combining the appreciation of potential of Bitcoin with the price stability of real estate, this first of its kind loan offers a balanced blend of wealth building collateral. With the Bitcoin mortgage, you can use your holdings to buy a new property or finance the home you already own. Get a loan equal to your Bitcoin holdings without selling a Satoshi. Wow, guys, this is big. And you remember, it starts with Bitcoin, and then they're going to add Ethereum and then XRP and then Chainlink and so forth. It's pretty amazing what is happening, guys. Every respective asset and industry and asset class is now becoming crypto-centric, and crypto's seeping into every aspect of it. And this is why I always tell you guys, be patient and look at this macro level. We're still very early in the adoption curve, and there's more to come. I've even stated to you guys, even though I'm selling the top here and taking profits, I'm going to be buying back in the bear market to further build my holdings for long term. And, you know, I've said it before, like I have plans to like pay off my mortgage and yada, yada, and do some other things. And I'll be holding some crypto and lending and staking. So I'm earning passive income, and I'm holding some long-term from my daughter and so forth, right? So I have a macro level view on this. I am not just cashing out and I'm gone. I want to keep building, compounding my returns on crypto because we're still so early. And this is a sign. These things are now being launched, right? They weren't here 3-4 years ago. Now they're still in their seed phase, if you want to say that, and they're sprouting their little leaves. They haven't become fully mature, but it will eventually. And that is why I am looking not just, you know, for this cycle to cash out, but for future returns as well. Very bullish news, guys. Now, speaking of bullish, Katie Haun, who's a general partner at a16z, well, she's leaving a16z, which is, of course, Andreessen Horowitz. Massive investment firm. They have been here, obviously, since the dot-com boom with Mark Andreessen, Ben Horowitz at Netscape. You guys know the story. And they have made some big bets. They've invested in Twitter, Coinbase, all that stuff in the, you know, in the early days. Well, she tweeted today, Chris Dixon and I shared with a16z crypto team that I will be launching my own fund focused on crypto and Web3 early next year. The current crypto fund will be my last at the firm. Wow, guys. It's like everybody is starting their own thing. She says, when Chris and I started our first crypto fund in 2018, it was a moonshot experiment. Thanks to the hard work of many, it has exceeded both our wildest expectations. Today, it's more apparent than ever that Web3 will transform the internet. Pretty amazing, guys. And, you know, it's everybody's sprouting off to go start their own thing. And let me see if I can get some info here on the amount that will be in this. So Han, a Coinbase director and former US prosecutor, has helped a16z become the crypto's well-known backer, most well-known backer. Earlier this year, a16 raised $2.2 billion. So once again, powerhouse for its third crypto fund and has already deployed a bevy of investments. So now she's branching off and saying, hey, I'm going to go start my own thing. Very bullish news, guys. These people see money on the table here for the taking, money to be made. And remember, they have a long-term outlook. They're not, oh, I'm going to put my money in, and then 6 months later, they're crying and on Twitter or something and feeling bearish. No, that's not how smart money operates. Retail operates like that, but that's not how smart money. And I had to learn to start thinking like that, especially talking to different mentors and so forth. And even from my interviews, talking to some of these hedge fund guys, right? They're putting their money in millions and they don't care about the dips and the roller coasters on the way. They know, hey, come back to me in 4 or 5 years, cash out, boom. They made a plethora of money. So that's how you got to think, guys. Now, look at this. The largest credit union in Idaho to allow customers to buy Bitcoin. My friends, this paradigm shift is amazing. It's amazing what is taking place. And look who's responsible. NYDIG. We talked about them yesterday. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, check it out. They raised $1 billion. And I had reported about them where they were going to be helping over 600 banks and credit unions, to bring crypto trading, Bitcoin trading, and custody on board. NYDIG is a big time Wall Street firm, huge institutional connections. They're not making the biggest headlines because the name is not Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs or something like that. But trust me when I tell you guys, just look at the money they raised. $1 billion funding round. Not $100 million or a couple $100 million, $1 billion. And if that puts their valuation at like 7 billion or something, they're going to be doing some massive stuff. And I talked about NCR, which is powering a lot of the point of sale, checkout, restaurants and pharmacies and so forth globally. They're working with those folks. So big things ahead. Here, this is very bullish. It just seems like everybody's jumping into crypto. So former South Carolina governor candidate launches a Bitcoin mining company. His name is John Warren, and he formed GEM Mining last year after noticing huge opportunities in the industry, raising $200 million since. Good for him, man. And I go back to this statement I've been saying for years. The US is not going to ban Bitcoin or Bitcoin mining. They are, regardless, despite all the stuff that's been going on with Senator Elizabeth Warren and all these clowns who have been talking negative about crypto, United States has allowed Bitcoin mining to flourish here in the US, of course. And we're seeing after the China ban, a lot of those miners came to the United States and they're setting up shop. I've interviewed 2 Bitcoin mining companies, Marathon Digital Holdings, as well as Whinstone Riot. And Whinstone is the largest in North America and arguably the world. If you haven't seen that interview, guys, check it out. They are building massive facilities. It's like you take like 3 to 4 football fields, put them together, and they have all these huge operations, guys. Big things are happening. Bitcoin is here to stay. It is digital gold. I know there's other crypto maximalists like, oh, Bitcoin sucks, but Bitcoin sucks for payments. I absolutely agree with that. I wouldn't use Bitcoin for payment. As a store of value hedge, as gold, hell yeah, it's great. It's digital gold. That is why all these institutional players are adopting it. So this is pretty amazing. I'm going to try to get an interview with John Warren and talk about this, but is that amazing, guys? Former South Carolina governor candidate, and he was in politics. Now he's in Bitcoin mining. Now, look at this. I found this interesting. Bank of America says Avalanche's scaling capability offers viable alternative to Ethereum. Wow. So those of you who hold Avalanche or the AVAX token, congrats. I think this is a sign of AVAX adoption, and these what you would call crypto 3.0, maybe types of tokens and digital assets are better than some of the older ones. So this is in the case with all disruptive tech, you're going to have multiple iterations and better tech that comes along. So interesting that they're saying this. So let me read some of the details here. Smart contract platform Avalanche's ability to scale while remaining secure and decentralized makes it a credible alternative to Ethereum for DeFi projects, NFTs, gaming, and other assets, Bank of America said in a research report. Avalanche's subnet feature is increasing adoption, the bank said, and more than 380 projects built on the platform. So that is good news. Once again, if you hold AVAX, congrats. This could be a sign of adoption. Maybe Bank of America does something with them. We'll see. The world is going to be a multi-chain world, so there won't be one token to rule them all. And different companies could use different smart contract platforms, right? So not everybody's going to use Ethereum. Now, speaking of smart contract platforms, Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz, and Bloomberg debut Solana fund for institutional investors. So Solana is very hot right now. Obviously, massive jump. I know guys like Chamath Palihapitiya and so forth are behind Solana. So looks like institutional players are taking a position in Solana. I did add some to my portfolio, not a lot, small amount. So if it does go up, I'll make some nice extra bucks, maybe a few $1,000s or something. But I'm not planning to take a large position because it is a pretty high cost crypto right now. And I would rather boost like some of my other holdings like Chainlink and so forth, and Algorand versus, load up one more Solana. So that's just my opinion. If you're holding Solana, this is good news. You could probably expect the price to keep going up as the bull market continues. Finally, the crypto mass marketing continues. Kevin Durant, a really great basketball player. I'm a big NBA fan. So he's one of the top players in the NBA. He has partnered with Coinbase and will work with the exchange to push crypto's awareness. And of course, he's not doing this for free, right? He's going to get paid millions and maybe he gets equity. We see FTX is doing that, crypto.com. Guys, you just see all these institutional players taking positions. You see the mass marketing happening, and people are bearish, right? And this is why I can't stress enough. I'm going to say it again. You have to look at this market holistically. This is why I don't only look at charts and technical analysis. That is important. I look at it, right? I can't not look at it. I have to. I can't just focus on price. Price will be affected by different things and market cycles. And also, you need to look at who's investing what positions they're taking, especially in early stages, right? Because we're still early in the adoption curve. And you got to look at what the governments are doing. And I just said, they're allowing Bitcoin to mining to boom. Jerome Powell has said they're not banning any Bitcoin or crypto. It's here to stay. They're going to be doing some stuff with more money printing. So you got to look at those macro factors, which are going to drive more capital into crypto. So once again, when you look at all the puzzle pieces together, you see the beautiful picture of higher valuations and prices over time. But some people are going to be like, dude, I want it today. Then this isn't for you. If the volatility bothers you, it isn't for you. I'm just being honest, right? You can't just complain and not do your research and understand what's taking place here. Those of you who get it and you're not over leveraged where you're putting your life savings, don't put your life savings in this. Obviously, you should only put money you're willing to lose. That as a rule of thumb, right? And if you're patient, you will be rewarded. And look, some of you who've been here years ago, you're already rewarded. I could cash out right now, and I will be pretty happy, guys, if I cash that right now. But I'm holding for higher gains because I know based on the factors I just shared in this video and other videos, there's more to come. So, if you're now entering the market and you're feeling the volatility, I get it. You got to do your research. You got to get used to it. Those of you who've been here for years, I've said, as always, diversify. And, for example, there's a lot of XRP holders who I see the complaints, XRP is not moving. Well, this is why I said for years and years, I've shared my portfolio, diversify. These principles are proven, guys, right? You just look at guys like Warren Buffett. It is proven, and they tell you to diversify. Yes, you don't want to spread yourself too thin and go buy 100 tokens, obviously, but you should be diversified. Maybe have a top 5, a top 10, and keep it at that, right? This way, if one does do well, but the other does well, you made money. And I hope you guys understand these things and it's sinking in. Those of you who are new, it's helpful. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.